So we've taken the red velvet sponge, just distribute the layers. You can see the brilliant red color in the sponge. It's really easy to make. I mean, if you've watched our red velvet demo, it's the red velvet sponge cake demo. It's really simple to make and it's completely eggless. So that's like a really major positive for this cake. Also, what you need to understand is that when you look at a cake, if you want to make this with egg, you can simply in the recipe that is there, you can simply add a few make a few replacements here and there. It's really very simple to make it without egg as well, and it's really not that sweet. So you can still douse it with a little sugar syrup. As always, the sugar syrup at the bottom will be the less amount, and the one in the top will be a little bit more than that, because gravity tends to pull the sugar syrup downwards. Take a heap of mixed or softened cream cheese frosting. We'll place in the center. Now, give or take, this will be about 65 to 85 grams odd. Now, since this is a dense cake, I'm not going to be putting more than 2 layers in this. So there'll be one, will just be a single sandwich. So there'll be only 2 layers and there'll be a single sandwich. So what I'm doing is I'm just inverting the layers so it's nice and flat, so I can get a nice flat top. Again, that's very important when you're cutting this. You need to ensure that it's nice and flat on top as well. Douse it with sugar syrup, again a little bit more than the bottom, and it needs to be able to imbibe a lot of sugar syrup so that it remains nice and moist. So all cakes that you need to make should be nice and moist, and that's very, very crucial for every cake. Just smooth the sides like this so that you don't have any excess jutting out. Just smoothen that up, and we're going to do a crumb coat. Now, the crumb coat is basically required so that you don't have any of this red sponge crumbs coming into the final layer. So your final layer is more or less unblemished, and it has a complete whiteness to it and no spots of this red sponge. So this sponge the sponge crumbs which are there, they can be easily caught or arrested in the they can be arrested in this sponge in this crumb coat. So this crumb coat is done with the same cream cheese frosting. Just to keep it nice and tasty, I'm using the same cream cheese frosting. So I'm trying to kind of maintain the filling, and that's going to give you that amazing amount of taste. So just scrape the bottom like that with the palette knife, release it like this, and just slide it off. Just slide it off. If it's not releasing, say for example if it's stuck for some reason, don't yank it off. Use another. So you could use another palette knife to just take it off. Don't yank it off. Just use another palette knife to take it off like that. Just gently do it. A lot of times these sponges which are dense, they tend to stick to the palette knife, so don't worry about it. Again, put a fair coat of cream on top. Always use a lot of cream on top, so you can subtract what you don't require. But if you have to keep adding more and more into the cake at regular intervals, then it will just mess up the finishing of the cake. So you just need to ensure that you're doing it in a very even, very gentle manner, nice and lightly done. So it looks nice when you do the finishing like this. Just keep it in one place, keep the palette knife on an angle, and rotate the turntable. That's what a turntable is supposed to do. Just rotate. So rotate it on the turntable, and you will get a nice finishing to that particular cake. And all the cakes rather use the same philosophy. Now, one more thing I wanted to point out here is that when you're doing the sides, you need to just kind of press it into the cake like that. So just gently press it into the cake so that the sides tend to flatten out. Now, I tend to use my palette knife to do all the finishing, but I'm going to also teach you how to do the finishing with the help of a cake comb or with the help of a scraper. So that also can be used. I tend to work comfortably with the help of a palette knife. This is just my personal preference. And always when you're doing any kind of finishing, you can use your scraper like that, and always use hot water. So hot water or boiling hot water is like really nice to use, because boiling hot water tends to get cold very fast. It might just sound very hot, but it's really not that hot. So notice what I'm doing is, if I'm holding it at a certain angle, it's getting twisted like that. You notice that it's getting tapering towards the top. The moment you hold it straight, you will start getting the cake a little bit straighter. So with the palette knife, it's easy to keep that perpendicular thing. With the scraper also it's simple, but you need to keep your grip proper. So the more you scrape it again, the more it gets straighter and straighter. Again, dip your scraper and take off the excess. So I'm subtracting what I don't require on the cake, and I'm making the edges as straight as I can with the help of the scraper. So it's a patient process. I mean, you need to take time to do this very in a very relaxed manner. So don't hurry about the cake. Just make sure that you're doing it in a patient manner. Again, scrape off what you don't require, and we've straightened out the cake. Now since I am in my comfort zone with the knife, I'm just going to use the knife for that to take off what is not required. So this, you can see so much excess coming off. So there's a lot of excess that has gone off. You don't require it. Just taper the borders into the cake like this. Now the knife is really hot. It might seem difficult to do, but when the knife is really hot, it becomes really simple. And I'm not dipping the knife as much because the knife is retaining a lot of heat from the boiling water. So wherever you have excess cream, or if you notice that there's some spot which is blank or has a little hole there, you can just add some cream there and just flatten it out and smoothen it again with the hot knife. So the hot knife does wonders to the cake. You can see how it's just gliding like butter. It's just so brilliantly, it just makes life so much more easier. I mean, it's just my preference to use a knife. If you want to use a scraper throughout, you can as well. If you're the kind of person that struggles to do this work, just use a scraper. It's much more easier. But a delicate hand will definitely go a long way for this. So we're just doing the borders now. So they're just evening out the borders. I'm just going to do a finishing touch for the people who have been doing the scraper, so that you can see the scraper finish as well, and alternating between the two. So there's no real one way of doing this. I mean, it's not like if I'm going to do a scraper, I'm not going to use this. So don't really bog yourself down with all that. Just use whatever you can to get it into a nice, nice finish, as smooth as you can and as sharp as you can get it. So that is what is going to matter, and no one's going to ask you what you use to do the finishing with. So simply now put it into your baseboard, slide it into your baseboard, and make sure you don't again yank the knife out. If you need to use another palette knife to remove that, please go ahead and do it. So that will help you to take out your existing palette knife from the base of the cake and not destroy your finishing. So to do the finishing of the cake, I have just sprinkled some red velvet crumb on top with the help of a spoon. Just sprinkle it on top. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just making 8 marks there. 8 or 7 marks is entirely up to you. So even being chefs, sometimes we struggle with this. Yeah, it is definitely a struggle. So don't worry about it, but make sure you pipe your rosettes evenly. And if there's any spot that you feel that you have missed, don't worry. Just sprinkle some more red velvet on top there and your cake will be good to go. So just that little bit of love there and that is done. Doesn't it look awesome?